Hi there and welcome to another of our market update videos. So what's been happening in the market in March? Well, I'm going to get straight into it. March was an absolute monster of a month for us. We knew our teams would be very busy working with their sellers and buyers and the solicitors trying to progress those sales and get those deals completed before the stamp duty deadline at the end of March. And that's very much how it played out really, with the number of completions for our business far higher than anything we've ever seen before in a month. What we also saw was our teams very busy at the front end, listing those new properties to the market, agreeing new sales. The level of activity that we saw from sellers and buyers in March was just off the scale. And whilst we had a record month for the number of sales we agreed in our business, we can see from the data that we have access to, courtesy of 20EA, that it wasn't just us who were busy. The number of sales was up right across the region, 13% higher than this time last year. So as we predicted in January, we're seeing a market which is really busy so far this year. In fact, in the first quarter of 2025, we can see sales are 9% up on the first quarter of 2024. And 2024 was quite a busy year for sales, so to be 9% up on last year is actually quite something. What I should counter this with though is that so far in 2025, the number of new properties coming to the market is very similar to last year. There's been no real increase on 2024. And I think this is quite interesting because if we're seeing that the supply of new property is fairly level, yet the demand from buyers is really increasing, then that's very probably going to lead to price growth. Not necessarily for every property, but certainly what we seem to be seeing right now is those starter homes, those first-time buyer properties, those second stepper properties as well, those young, affordable three-bedroom family homes, they seem to be in real demand at the moment. They're doing very well, and I think as long as that demand stays like it is, they should see some good price growth this year. So that's my quick roundup on the market in March and the year so far. We're going to be back in our next video with a slightly different format where I'm going to try and answer some of the most common questions we're getting from buyers and sellers at the moment. So if you've got any burning questions, why not leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to try and answer them when we do our next video. But for now, thanks as always for watching.